Hello, hello. We are back with the Pronoun Crow Inquisitors Season 3 side story. Caspian, that's a very long name. But, yeah, we're playing Burning Wheel. It's a good time. Caspian has solved one problem, and it's obviously never gonna take any more rolls than that. He solved the problem entirely, and that's it.
That's how Burning Wheel goes. You roll, make one roll, and then it's over. You let it ride for the rest of history.
Yep.
That's how the rule works, right?
Yep, absolutely, yeah. Definitely. There's no such thing as, betrayals or backstabbings or problems at all, really.
Nah.
Anyway, so, we pick up back with Caspian as he makes his way back to White Sea Keep. What does Caspian want to do? What's the next thing on his agenda?
Let's see.
I could also have something happen.
What were the other two problems? There was a guy who wants to murder me I don't know about. Well, there have been attempts, right? So I know that it's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. And then...
And the disease slowly eating away at you.
Oh, what I can do about that yet. So, okay, so I think when he gets back, he... nods to Kasim and he says, I'm trying to think how you would know this, but it says, I believe I heard, I can't just come up with Persian names on the top of my head because I don't know what they sound like, but I need a Persian name for a woman.
Persian name for a woman, coming right up. Dina, yeah.
Okay, could you spell that for me? Oh, you did, okay.
I did.
Yeah, so it says, could you fetch Theo for me and have her meet me in, the hall, I guess. She's supposed to be returning from her, reconnaissance. And then,
Talking to Kasim?
Yeah. Dini is one of his wives that he had looking out for whoever it was trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, he nods and he says, I'll send someone to do that right away.
Thank you. And then he sort of just turns back to go towards the...
Mm-hmm.
And I think before he goes, he says, and make sure the town's outriders are increasing the numbers of their patrols. If Iro sends us a surprise, I want to make sure we see it coming.
Of course, sir. If anything happens in the region, we'll hear of it.
Like, I don't know, an army of Serrano.
Exactly. Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Good.
Really
and then he
obvious
just nods.
foreshadowing.
Yeah, because we said it, but yeah, he says good, and then he nods at him and goes to ride off to the keep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, as you may, I mean, I think we cut to you back in White Sea Keep, and you're walking down the hall like towards, I don't know, wherever you were gonna meet, wherever you were gonna hang out until Dania comes.
Right. Yeah. And he'll probably just go to his the office offside of his chambers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a accounting room.
Right. Yeah. So Gwen is by your side, I'm assuming, as always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she kind of like looks at you and she says, "Well, that went well."
I thought so, as well as it could, anyways.
Do you think Torin will actually? Or no. She says, "What do you expect that Torin will do once he gets back to Doriadi?"
It says, well, if he has no love for Hero as he made it appear, then I imagine he'll go along with what he said he would do. If not, or if he does, if he has more loyalty than he made out, I imagine we'll see him again when they come to attack, and I imagine that he'll find out who is more competent, the Serrano Knights or ours.
But do you actually expect him to be able to stand up against a man like Irogal? I mean, as pitiful as he is, he does have soldiers and bodyguards and the like. What is?
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't suspect that he'll try anything on his own. If he fails to, if he succeeds in convincing Ito that he should mind his own business, then I imagine we'll not meet him again. But if he fails, or if he doesn't try, then I imagine there'll be more to it.
She nods.
Yeah, and he says, either way, I imagine we'll hear of it before they intend us to.
What is an assassin toolkit, by the way?
A toolkit is just like
no,
a thing
I
you
know
can
what
buy,
I know what a toolkit
and
is, but what
so
is
I figured it would be things like poison and like a rope, like a hooked rope, that kind of thing.
Okay, sure.
Stuff she might use to assassinate people. Like a mask probably.
Gotcha.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, I didn't really know. It's just that a skill toolkit, and I'm like, sure. Yeah, so, yeah, so he's like, well, I imagine we'll find out, because, I'll have one of the Bloodwives, infiltrate if they're able, which I'm sure they are.
So, I'm curious as to what, so you really just, like, you're that, like, what's the word? You're that just cold with these people? You called them the Bloodwives? And you're, you're talking to Gwyn. She is one of the Bloodwives. She's one of your wives.
Right, yeah, but I mean, like, he said it that way because he's talking about in the capacity of going there and spying on them, not, like,
it just sounds so callous.
Well, I mean, like, it's an organization. Like, you didn't know. I don't know.
Right. That's the thing. Like, it's an organization, obviously, but it's an organization that is very informal because it's just made up of your wives.
Right, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. He probably wouldn't say it that way then. That's fair. He probably just says one of the girls or something like that. Like, something really informal.
One of your sisters, maybe?
That sounds kind of creepy, but probably. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of your sister wives.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so
is your name Jebediah?
Send one of them to infiltrate, see what they can learn.
I'm sorry, what was the first part of that?
Basically, he was just saying that he's intending to send one of them to see what they can figure out.
Right, okay. Okay, she nods. Yeah, and I think she says, so what's next on the agenda? You said you wanted to see Dania.
Yeah, she's supposed to be looking into these attempts on my life that have been happening of late. As you might imagine, they're rather disconcerting.
Yeah, and you see Gwyn, like, her face, like, gets, like, really red, and like, she seems, like, angry, and you know that, like, it's because, like, she's expressed earlier, well, that's the thing, she's expressed earlier that these people have gotten far closer to you than she would have liked.
Yeah.
And, she's killed them every time, but, like,
right,
it's still, bugging her.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think he says, obviously such attempts are commonplace, but for them to get so close, clearly they have a greater proximity to us than most. So I've sent her to try and root this out as quickly as possible. Especially with Ito being the way he is, I would like to be able to focus my efforts exterior to the exterior.
Mm-hmm. She nods.
Externally. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything more that you would like me to do? Beyond the ordinary, I mean.
By which I mean, I assume she means standing there and not other things, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As in, like, being your bodyguard, right?
Right, okay, yeah.
Because that's her primary function, is to stay with you
yeah.
and protect you.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I think he shrugs and says, "How long do you think she'll be?"
She shrugs. I mean, you know Dania. She's always invested in her work. She might be involved in... She might not even be finished with the reconnaissance for some time. Cassie might have some trouble tracking her down.
He chuckles. He says, "Oh, it'll be good for him." He says, "Well, that might give us some time then." And I think he kind of, because they're in his study, and he's probably looking over some graphs or what, I don't know if they have graphs, but whatever, some number sheets.
Yeah.
And I think he opens the door back into the bedroom or whatever.
Right.
Of course. Yeah, we've got time. And then we'll probably just wait till she comes in.
You're such a gross old man.
Yep.
I hate
that
this.
I am. Oh wait, how old is she again?
25.
Is 25. She is 26 years younger than me. That's terrible.
Oh.
Wow. Anyways, she also only has one life path less, which I think I did on purpose.
But she's taking a bunch of military life paths, so yeah.
Yeah. I tried to pick ones that were like short, and the ones I wanted were conveniently short. So.
Yeah. So I think what happens is you guys are not quite finished when you hear a knock at the door.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says,
sorry to make this awkward, but...
No, you're fine. He says, "Come back in a moment."
Oh my gosh. And then Dania bursts in the room.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so he stops and he says,
No, so she immediately says, "Put some clothes on, you two. I have something to say."
He says, "Are you that eager to join us?" He's just sitting there like he doesn't do anything.
Oh gosh.
I mean, does she say
rolls her eyes. She says, "Caspian, put some pants on. You're going to want to hear this."
He sighs and gets up and he says, "Do I need pants on to listen?" And then he goes to find his pants.
I need you to have pants on for me. for
he nods. He says, "That
for
I
me
understand."
to speak.
And then, like, of course he wouldn't be able to speak here.
Gosh.
And you're seeing his pants.
You're so gross.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, as is specified with the name, Dania is Kaza, and so she's very like, she has the Persian princess sort of thing going on. She looks like what's her face from Prince of Persia, basically, except maybe a little bit older.
It's been a long time.
Saphira.
I don't know how to spell that, but we're gonna go with that.
I think it's Safira.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
I need to remember what she looks like. Right, yeah, okay. So yeah, she
Yo, this is all the money.
Sorry about this.
sorry.
Problem?
Yeah, so she says, "I think I might have a lead on who's trying to kill you." And Gwen, who's also put her clothes on, is basically like, she looks fiercely at Dania and she says, Who is it? Tell me." Dania like holds up a hand. She's like, "Hold your horses. I'm not sure you're gonna like this."
I mean, someone's trying to kill me. Of course I won't like it.
Yeah, and so I don't actually have an idea exactly.
I mean, I was considering that it could be the same guy, the guy that Josh replaces. It might change a little bit of how that confrontation
No,
goes down.
I don't think so. I
the
want
way
this to
wrote
be
it, but-
bigger.
Okay, fair enough.
I want this to be a legitimate problem you'll have to deal with.
Okay.
Rather than just something you just like take care of, right away.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who would want you dead?
A lot of people.
I know.
I mean, yeah, we don't
right?
really have too much information on the town yet, so.
Yeah.
Could be whoever. I think originally I had Maitreya running the whatever you call those things, brothel
Brothels.
that he keeps going to. But it could be is not the one who runs it, and then the person who runs it is the person that's trying to do that, right? Or it could be her. It could just be Maitreya.
That's
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I think that guy's my cousin, so presumably he would inherit this if I died. It's mine now.
Yeah. I think that's a.
I mean, except there's like 50 assassin wives in between him and that, but he might not know that. So, or Maitreya wouldn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this has to be bigger even, because the
Okay.
problem is, anyone who knows you would know that you have 50 assassin wives.
Well, no, I mean, they're supposed to be a secret thing. They know I have wives, but they wouldn't know they're assassins.
Oh, okay.
Plus, they come and go a lot, so knowing their faces isn't really something that would be likely to happen, unless they've been around and familiar with me for a long time, specifically. So,
You know what? Let's roll for this lady. Let's have
Okay.
Dania roll to see how well this like investigation went. Just to see whether or not she actually has good information or not.
right.
Three successes. She says,
Pretty average, I think. Well, not average, but like.
it's a group of foreigners. Serrano.
He raises his eyebrow and he's like, how have they gotten so close?
No, she says, it's a group of foreigners.
Oh.
Taikoni.
Okay, same question.
Right.
How did they
exactly,
get
yeah.
so close? Yeah. Because I mean, are there any of those people that just normally live in the?
Not really, no. Not in the desert.
Right. Okay.
A whole
Yeah.
lot, yeah. They came as merchants a little while ago. Didn't think much of it. They brought good trade goods. I mean, Teco has great exports, so good for business. But there's a woman among them, Serrano woman. She bringing strange ideas, talking about some. She's bringing religion into it. I don't know. She's trying to start some sort of insurrectionist circle. It's not just about killing you. It's about throwing over this entire regime. I don't think they know exactly what they're doing. I don't think they know what they've gotten themselves into, but they're dangerous if they've made it this far. Naive as that might be.
Oh, I suppose we can't have that. I'd like to. I'm trying to think.
It's going to look bad if you just have them murdered, but and there's always a chance that someone will that they might escape if we just try to murder them all.
Yeah. Says, so darling, you know I'm more skilled, I guess, than that. Says, of course we're not going to be the ones that killed them. And I'm trying to think. Okay, so there's a religious, our religion, I guess, in our area, right? There's people who follow.
Oh yeah. This is definitely something we need to talk about. And I probably should have talked about it already. So there is the main reason that this whole Crusades type thing has happened is because the people in this region are henotheistic. Henotheistic, I think, is the pronunciation there, which means that they acknowledge the existence of other gods, but they worship one god. Unlike monotheism, which does not acknowledge the existence of other gods.
Right.
Basically, they
like there's other gods, but ours is better.
Right, exactly. They worship one steward, and it's a steward because there have been actual sightings of the goddess and so on and so forth. It's a goddess named Threshte, and she is in a lot of ways one of an opposite of the great god and like she's been stylized that way, especially by Serrano. Okay. It's basically like Islam versus Christianity in a lot of ways, but the religion itself in this region is not as organized. It's a lot more matriarchal in nature, and it's more tribalistic. But the entire region is more tribalistic. There's no unifying government anywhere in this desert. Let me pull up the thing. But yeah, so that is a prominent thing that exists here. It's very much based on like sacrifice, stuff like that. Old Testament style sacrifices, and let's see. So she's the god. Her aspects are wind, war, medicine, twilight, and health. So there's a lot of what was it that I wrote down? There are like prophets that are chosen every once in a while that kind of go around and speak for this goddess. But yeah, it's very informal, very tribalistic in nature. So
would there be someone in the town I could go to who is essentially the head of that?
The town. Yeah, she would be like the town priestess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, I missed the list of things that she represents. Is
wind, war, medicine, twilight, and health.
Okay. I thought I heard you say war, and that was what I was hoping for. Okay. So presumably they wouldn't be super happy about this, right?
I mean, probably not. Yeah, I think like there is there's not like a whole lot of like specific moral requirements in the same way that like Islam might have. There's definitely like some weird ritualistic things like sacrifices and like special dietary codes that you're supposed to abide by if you're like if you're like pregnant or whatever, like various things like that. But
if I tell them foreign priests are coming and messing things up and that they shouldn't cause any problems,
that would go a lot better than just killing
probably go and murder them for me. Okay.
They might. Yeah, you might be able to convince them to.
Right. So basically, my intention is to be like, hey, look, there's these people. I know they're causing problems and bring us other religion, but we don't want to just have a bloodbath in the street, so don't go murder anybody. And then knowing that this guy will probably not listen to me and go do it anyways is my hope.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
That's my intention. So we'll see if the roles pan out that way. But yeah. So he says, I'm more intelligent than that. I think it's time we go pay the priest a visit, assuming that's what they call it. I don't know what they call him. But that guy, we go pay him a visit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks around and says, where did I put my robe? Or I guess it's a robe. And he goes to find his coat, I guess it is actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to go talk to the priest.
Sure, yeah. Circles roll, my friend. Circles roll.
Hey, I have a good circles.
You do?
Yeah. Though I actually don't really. I don't want this guy to be like to not like me, but I want him to not listen to me. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see how this goes though. If I can remember where circle is. I think I remember. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's only 4. I thought it was better than that. All right.
I mean, that's a pretty good starting circles. So.
I mean, yeah. But what's the difficulty? Do I get a bonus for the fact that he lives in my town?
You can add reputation or affiliation dice that are applicable.
I don't think I have.
Just the reputation, I think. They're on.
Oh yeah, I do have a reputation. Yeah.
They're in stats and skills.
And it's 2 dice. I get 2, right? That's how that works.
Yep. Yeah, the reputation counts. I think it's going to be. So you're trying to find someone who. Oh, so there has to be someone who shares within the same setting. So what settings and stuff do you have, like life path wise?
My life paths are Cityborn, Confidence Man, Moneylender, Merchant, Magnate, and Baron. So no.
Okay, so you have city stuff, which is this person would be in city anyway, because they.
Oh,
yeah.
legit.
Yep.
Cool.
So it would be up 3, I think.
Oh wow. All right. Cool. I might actually get this, guys. We're not. Jeez. What? I got a 1. Really? No 6s.
Oh wow. Well.
Those 2s, man.
Well, this person doesn't like you.
Well, that's okay.
I mean, I feel like that makes sense, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want him to not like me. That's kind of the point.
It's a girl, but yeah.
Oh. All right. You said Matriarch, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so you walk into the temple. I think the temple is shaped. It's pyramidal in structure.
Okay.
And it has like an open. So it's pyramidal, but it has like an open roof. So there's like walls and stuff like that, but like the square on the top that would be covered by like a triangular dome is instead opened and like has like it's just like walls instead of like a roof. And so inside, cool. Yeah, like as soon as you like walk in through the walls and get through like the initial part that is like an actual building, you come to this like center courtyard where all the like the sacrifices are done. There's like a big altar there. And so you walk in and they're I think they're in the middle of a ritual sacrifice. And so yeah, they're sacrificing like a couple goats and burning them on this altar. You're coming right at the tail end of it, and so like they're just basically praying around this like burning altar, which where these goats are burning. And so like the matriarch basically is kind of like a withered old woman, salt and pepper hair, and she's like praying and muttering, and she has like I think like the thing that signifies her is like the head matriarch or whatever is or the matriarch, because matriarch signifies that you're the head. Is a let me check. I have like a big list of little things.
Big list of little things.
She has like a desert plant. A couple of like desert plants, like dried plants, and like maybe little things of like little stones or so, various like naturistic symbols kind of in a necklace around her, and she has like some feathers tied to her hair. And you know culturally you can understand that like what the different things mean in general. You're like, all right, well, you know, the feathers signify that she is like a chosen of blah blah blah, and you know the stones signify, and so on and so forth. But she's important. Is basically what you get across.
She's important.
Yeah. And so I don't know if you want to interrupt the end of it or.
Yeah, wait. So I think I kind of walk in because I don't know how any of this stuff goes, and she doesn't like me, so. I'm kind of I think intentionally doing that. Yeah. I guess I technically don't know if she'd be mad, but I'm assuming she'll be mad.
I'm assuming Gwen is with you as well.
Yeah, so I kind of just walk in. Like far enough away that it looks like I'm trying to be polite, but I'm obviously way too close. Like I'm standing behind them, but just like right up next to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like waiting.
And yeah, she's praying, and her name is Maita, and she like opens one eye and like sees you, and then like tries to go back to praying, and then keeps like looking up, and then eventually just like trails.
I smile at her like
like trails off. In the name of Foreste, amen. What do you want, Goldvein?
She said amen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then he's just like amen, and then she says that. He says, says, I just wanted a moment of your time. I hope now's not. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Your cheeks are flushed, Caspian. Have you been whoring again?
Technically no. Anyways,
under the moral guidelines of Foreste, you would indeed have just been whoring. You can't have more than one wife.
Well, I can do whatever I want.
Well,
I didn't pay them. That doesn't count. So
wives can have more than one husband, but
wow, I see how that's
yeah.
good. Yeah. So he says technically no, but anyways, and I think he shoots Gwyn a look when he says that. And then
actually, I think it's both ways. I think technically in the actual like code of conduct, I think it's mainly for like to take care of them is the thing. Like you're allowed to take more than one wife in a sense that like you know the widows and stuff like that, they need to be taken care of. You know, they're brought in and married to husbands who have much money so that they don't die. That's like the technical definition for why that happens, but that's not the reason you did it.
Well, no. Yeah.
Right. So I think it's okay, but the way she knows that the way you're doing is not
okay. Then his response is just he's like, oh, never. I wouldn't. Right. Yeah. But anyways, it's like I'm here to provide a word of warning. It seems we have some foreigners in our walls. They're
of course we have foreigners. This is an oasis after all. There are people besides the Nasrin.
He looks at his what are they called? What's his wife called? The like barbarians from the north.
Is she a Morgtan or a Rannick?
It's Rannick.
She's Rannick.
Yeah. He looks at his Rannick wife and says, "Indeed."
Yeah.
However, these appear to be stirring up.
Oh,
some...
you know what she needs to do? She needs to make a steel test.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think
so, I look over at her and then she looks at her and then
exactly. So
she got a 16.
That's 3 successes. I mean, her hesitation is obviously higher than that. So yeah. So she stops and just pauses for a moment.
Yeah. So he says they're stirring up some religious fervor, and he waits. He's like, "Are you listening to me?"
Yes, I'm listening, Caspian. And she seems a little paler though.
And he kind of smirks and he says, I just wanted to request ever so politely that unless of course they grow hostile, that this doesn't escalate into anything. I will of course try to remove them quietly, ask them to calm themselves, but as of course our religion is the only accepted one here. But I would just like to your assurance that it will remain a peaceful interaction. And like I'm sure she'll say no. I don't know if you want me to roll, but his intention is for her to be like, yeah, no. So
I mean, like, yeah, unless you want to make a roll to actually convince her, because your goal here is to pretend like you're saying.
I think he says like it's in it seems they've been stirring up some trouble and damaging property, and like hopefully it won't get any more severe than that, and of course I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
speak to them before it gets any further. But I just wanted to make sure you knew I'm going to handle this, and that the church can feel free to.
So, I mean, technically that hasn't
keep their hands
happened.
clean.
They haven't been destroying
I know.
property or
I know they
anything.
haven't.
Okay, so
I know
I
they
mean,
haven't,
make a
yeah.
falsehood test, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Basically, he's trying to make them sound worse than they are, like it's kind of like a big deal, but that he's
Mhm.
trying to make it sound like
Sure,
it's not.
yeah.
Okay.
Obstacle 6.
What is that?
It's this old lady's job to have a lot of will.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Okay, I don't think can I use Griftwise for this? I'm kind of trying to pull something over on her.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Beautiful. That gives me one more dice and she has will, so that's great. I'm not getting any help from Gwyn on this, am I?
I'm not sure how she could help. Like, just the intimidation wouldn't really
Yeah.
do anything, yeah.
Right, okay. I don't really know if it's worth spending a persona point on this. I don't know that I have a super great chance of succeeding.
Well, you know what I'd have to do then? Is just send the assassin after you, and then you just die in the first session. You won't have any persona.
Right, yeah. You said 6, okay, so here we go. I got 1. Holy crap, that's the second time I've got a 1 with more than with I had 6 dice the first time and 7 this
Wow.
time.
Make sure you mark
This
those
game
tests and
literally
stuff.
hates me. Oh yeah, I forgot that was the thing he did in this game. Passive persuasion test. Circles. You have to pass circles to check that?
Nope.
No? Okay, so that was routine.
You did spend a fate on persuasion as well. So
Yeah, I did mark that, yeah.
Okay.
Difficult. Okay. Great. Cool. Super. So, the problem here is that... Well, okay, no, I guess that's not the problem. Okay, so yeah, she doesn't believe that they're damaging stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, she says, "Why are you lying to me, Caspian? You know as well as I do that those merchants have done nothing but buy and sell and talk of the unknown god, like some of those Tekoni tend to. No, nothing harmful there. We're not barbarians like the Serrano. We're not going to kill everyone who disagrees with us."
He kind of chuckles and he says, I thought that your eyes were more discerning than that. Certainly they've been more busy than that. Which he's actually being honest about, but because they've been trying to murder him.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah.
But that's
so he
not
says that.
public.
No, yeah. But yeah, he's basically insinuating that, like, yeah, no crap, you don't know what they're doing. That's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
I'm not sure what you're trying to get me to believe here or to do, Caspian, but I know you're trying to manipulate me somehow, and I'm telling you it won't work. Leave now before I get more angry than I already am. You still haven't been to the temple yet to atone for the last time you came here.
Says, well, I'm here now. And he kind of shrugs and he says,
All right, well, you owe me a sacrifice. Are you willing to are you willing to offer a dove to Fereshte? You'll probably have to offer 2 since you just lied to me again.
Yeah, he just shrugs and says, I mean, I don't have any doves. I have gold if she'll take that. Just kind of like waving his golden hand.
You say that? Like, I have gold if you want that.
Yeah, he's saying it like not committed, like, I guess.
Yeah, and he says, or she says, you can give me the gold, and I will give you the doves, but you'll have to do the sacrifice.
He just kind of shakes his head and sighs, and he says, if I do that, will you promise me that when these Tekoni people start causing problems, you won't just murder them in the street?
I would have promised you that anyway, Caspian, but now that you've offered it, yes, I'll take that. Now give me the gold, and I will give you the doves.
Yeah, and he pulls out a coin and says, now you're going to have to do a sacrifice for lying, under his breath, and then he throws her a coin. And,
wine on your own time, Caspian.
Said, if it's my gold, it's my time. And he hands her the coin.
Oh, that's such a good line. Yeah, so she goes and gets 2 doves. And yeah, I definitely want you to make a ritual roll here.
Oh, it's like I can't just kill it.
No, there's a
I
whole
mean,
ritual.
I don't plan on doing it right.
Well, I mean, let's see.
All right, fine.
I mean, why would you not at least try to do it right?
What is it? Well, I don't know. I don't really want her to like me, but
yeah, there's a skill called ritual.
Of course, there is. Okay. There's literally a skill called actually, there probably is a bartending skill. Anyways, all right.
There's a waiting table skill.
Yes, of course there is. What is the root of that?
Will/perception.
Will. Yeah. Why? Okay, that's 10, and then 5, and then you round up or down? Down, right?
So check that little square box next to Will. Yeah, there you go. And you can open it up. Yep, and do another route.
I didn't know that's how that worked. That's cool.
Yep, there you go.
All right.
Yeah. So the obstacle I think is ob 2.
Okay. I mean, technically, I can pass this.
Yeah, basically, this is a lie to atone for, or a ritual to atone for lies you've said.
Can I fork falsehood into that?
Oh gosh, no, you can't because it's being learned.
Yeah. Okay. Oh right. Duh. Okay. 2. I got a 1 again, didn't I? No, I got a 2. Whatever. I wasn't planning on passing anyway.
Oh, too bad. Too bad. Yeah, so the matriarch is very disappointed with you, but doesn't really say a whole lot. She offers your pathetic
I basically
attempt.
just walk up there and like break its neck, and then like, because I don't even know what the ritual is, but I'm as a person, I just break its neck and then I like cut its throat and like bleed it over something that looks important, and then
yeah, all the priestesses are like, what is he doing?
Yeah, and then I like,
and who knows? Well, like we won't know what the actual ritual was, but like,
exactly, yeah,
whatever you did was wrong.
Yeah, and I like open its mouth and take a small like copper coin or something and stick it in its beak, and then I'm like, all right, there.
You just drop it on the altar.
Yeah, I just like I say amen or something like that. And I turn around and then I'm like, okay, it's been a pleasure, ladies, and then he walks out.
And Gwyn, I think like once you get out of the walk out of the temple, she just starts like laughing.
He looks at her. He's like, "What?
You are something else sometime. Didn't you know that, Caspian?"
He just shrugs and he says, "Well, you know, eventually we have to atone for stuff, you know, at some point."
Well, if you want to pick up where we left off, there could be more to atone for. You could add another thing to your list of things to atone for.
He shakes his head and he says, "I think we're gonna run out of doves." And then, it's like, yeah, it goes along.
And that's that of the scene, yeah.
Yep.
Oh gosh. Oh dear. Anyway.
And then they went extinct. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you go back to White Sea Keep.
Yeah. And I'll wait for something to happen because I don't really know what I would roll. The problem is I tried to do this before. I tried to make a roll so that people will do the opposite of what I tell them to do, and I don't know what to roll for that. Like it's just.
I mean,
like
some manipulation skill, like a falsehood or a. Yeah, falsehood probably would have worked, but
I guess. All right, yeah, I guess
it kind of just
rolled, so.
Right, exactly. It kind of just the whole thing was a sort of deception on your part, and it didn't pan out. Yeah, so they're not gonna do anything about it.
Yeah. Okay. Ah, great. All right. Well, let's come up with a new angle for that. Yeah. Okay.
Check people's beliefs.
I got some other ideas, but all right. Yeah. I mean, for now, I tried, so whatever. And then you said you had something that could happen, so. If you want to do that, we can do that. Otherwise, I think I might have another idea. But
yeah, go ahead and say yours.
So yeah, I think his intention now is, which this isn't really something he'd do himself. So his intention now is to try and essentially stage an increase in tension, right? So like start breaking stuff under their banner, that kind of thing. But that's not the kind of thing he'd probably do himself.
Do what exactly? What I guess.
Basically, he wants to try and escalate things by faking aggression on their part, on the Taconi part.
Okay, so you just want to send someone to do that?
Yeah, basically, like, well, first he wants to send anybody to see if they think there's somebody among them that would do it legitimately. Like, if there's one of the Taconi that seems like they would prefer money to their faith. And if there is, then he'll just pay him to do it. But if there's not, then he'll, impersonate them, essentially. Because impersonating someone of a different race is much more difficult than just hiring the people that are there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so I think he wants to send somebody to just try and like, someone to pretend that they're interested and prod them, and then try and see if they can find anybody who might cave and be a good.
Yeah, so I mean, Denia goes and tries to do that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not. I guess that's not something that you're doing. So we.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of just happening off screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe probably what happens then is we get nightfall, and
Okay.
And then there's an assassination attempt in the night.
Yeah, great.
Because why not?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and I might actually burn this person up real quick. So we get like a couple shots, Star Wars Episode 2 style, of you sleeping, and Gwen like standing outside like a Jedi, protecting you. She's paranoid. She's very, very paranoid that something's gonna happen. Rightly so. And I think what ends up happening is what are the different ways that you could try to kill someone?
I mean, there's a lot of those.
So what is the setup that you have exactly protecting you against assassination right now? Is it just Gwen?
I mean, so there's we said 50 wives, right? So
Yeah.
there's some spread around in different cities, right? Like spying and doing things. But a lot of they kind of rotate around so that some get to stay. They rest basically here. But so there's still enough of them here that there's essentially a number of them, and I mean they're my wives, so they all either sleep in the same room or similar rooms or nearby wings, whatever, wherever's convenient for them, depending on what they're doing, whatever job they're performing, whatever. So like, there's probably a lot of them. In like, I'd say there's probably like at any given time 10 to 15 or something, because there's so many of them, and it takes time to travel to these different cities. He only needs the ones nearby, like, on watch. And the others are probably just out in the city doing work. And there's probably only like 10 that are actually out of the city or something like that. So, I mean, I'd say there's probably like 10 to 15 of them, but only a few of them would be in earshot of actually like someone walking into my room, right? And Gwen obviously being the primary one.
Okay, so I'm gonna go roll a stealthy roll for this person, who's gonna try to sneak into your room and assassinate you. Only 3 successes. Oh, always bad. And then we will roll for Gwen, and she's gonna be helped by the other wives that are around here with observation. She doesn't actually have observation.
Yeah, she was meant to be more of an assassin than less of a defending person.
Right.
Probably, to be honest, she's probably with me. There's probably somebody else that stands and watch.
Okay, sure.
Including probably some Rossi, because they're more soldiers, like guards, right? And they're also my personal military. So there's probably at least one of them outside the door.
Okay, so
And then-
she I think like she can't go to sleep, right? So I think we get a shot of you like peacefully sleeping, right? And and then they pan over and she's like laying in bed but like staring up at the ceiling and like twiddling a knife in her hands.
Nice.
And so we'll get, this is the observation roll here. Wow. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why you get paid the big bucks.
Yeah. Well, what happens is there's an assassination attempt, but I don't think you even notice it. Right? You're peacefully sleeping the whole time, and
Oh yeah.
the soldiers just take the person out. Let's.
Do they tell me that someone did that, like at night
No.
when it happens?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Gwen like obviously hears and goes and like checks it out, but I don't think she wakes you up. Are you like a light sleeper? I guess you don't have a trait, but
Probably not.
yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll here for the soldiers to see if they
At
because
51, I probably am a pretty deep sleeper.
it would be beneficial for you to be able to interrogate a person who attempted to kill you, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So
It would be.
you know, so I think.
What did we do with the corpse of the other people?
I don't know. Actually, it might be possible that there was not a corpse at any point yet. Right? Like it was either the person like attempted but then ran away, or they tried to poison you and it wasn't like direct. This is the first time that someone has been like directly confronted and either killed or captured. We'll see which. So, oh wow, that was the soldiers' attack. And their intent is to capture, and this is the person to get away, and their intent is to, get away. Oh, wow.
Nice.
So, yeah, you wake up. So we get all of this, and then we keep cutting back to, like, you peacefully sleeping. And then we wake up. You wake up in the morning, and as you're at breakfast, the same time you same sort of scene as we saw initially. Gwen is, I don't think Gwen's there when you wake up in the morning, and she's usually there, and so you're kind of like, okay, what's going on? But then
Great, now I have to roll steel.
Right, and so you go to breakfast like normal, and everything seems fine. Like it doesn't seem like Gwen was in trouble or anything like that. Some soldiers lead you, or are there around you, so you're not unguarded or whatever. You go to breakfast. You're eating some like oranges or whatever, and then Gwen enters the room. So make a steel test for me.
Yay! I don't even know what my hesitation is. Oh, I can technically pass this. I won't, but I can. Oh, steel is no. It's open-ended.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Why do I pass that test? Of all the tests to pass. Wait, why did I have 4 modifiers? That's not right. No wonder I passed it. I had 8 dice. Let me try that again. No modifiers. 4 difficulty. There we go. That's the right color. I almost got it.
You can spend a fate to reroll a traitor, but I mean it's not that important.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I'll just stand and drool, I guess.
Yeah. So you pause.
I kind of drop my fork, and he has sort of an unnerved look in his eye,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like shivers a little. Well, I think his hand starts to shake a little bit. His golden hand starts to shake a little bit.
And so Gwen walks over, and she's almost like saunters over. She seems very proud of herself. And so yeah, she saunters over to you and like drapes a hand around an arm around your shoulders, and like kisses you on your head, on like the top of your head. And she says. And I think she like purrs in your ear, like says like, as in like her words are like
right.
purr.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I was just. Like...
And she says, "I have a present for you."
He smiles. Isn't it a little early?
No, not that.
Oh.
There was another assassin last night.
And I slept through it.
You did? But we got him this time. Or her, I should say.
He smiles. He says, well, now we could show that she's a priestess, right? Or matriarch, is that what we call her? Matriarch or priestess?
Matriarch.
Matriarch.
If the regular people would be called priestesses, the head priest is called the matriarch.
Okay.
Or a matriarch.
Yeah, so he smiles and he's like, yeah, that'll show the patriarch to, tell me I'm lying or whatever. Like, she'll get hers. But anyways, just says, where is she? Or well, he says, I think first he says, it's like, well done. I appreciate your skill. This should make this quite a bit easier.
Mm-hmm. And she does one of those like finger walks up your arm, and she says, oh, you know me, just the best of the best.
Anyway, sorry. I was gonna try and make that more awkward, but I'm not gonna do that. Anyways,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So I think he just stands up and wraps his arm around her waist and says, but of course. And then he says, where do you have her?
Where else? The dungeon.
He's, appropriate. Well, shall we?
You didn't think I would keep her in the baths, did you?
I don't know. He shrugs and he says, "You did say it was a surprise." Yeah. It's like, well, shall we? And then he gestures to for her to go first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she leads the way, and yeah, you're led into this cell. One of the guards, one of the Marasi, is that what it is?
Yeah, Marasi.
Unlocks the door.
I just realized how much like Mingasi that sounds. I was like, why does that sound so familiar?
I mean, it also is the name of one of the characters in Mistborn, the Alloy of Lyra.
It is? I didn't remember that.
Marasi? Marasi? Or sometimes they pronounce it differently, but...
I don't...
The girl, the lawkeeper girl.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah.
Right. Well, whatever. I didn't remember that.
No,
I'm
fine.
really bad with fictional names. Well, and real names.
So Gwen leads you in, and the woman is I'm coming up with all this at the top of my head. So
No worries.
You know what? Let's roll here. Let's do one of these tables. Denying disciplines. Okay, so continuous. What is the race that is based on the continuous discipline?
We said they're Taconi, right?
Well, I don't know if this person is.
Oh, I guess the Taconi could have sent someone not Taconi, but that'd be kind of weird, I guess.
I mean, if they want to not make it look like it was them.
Right, but
they're like the only Taconi in town, so...
Yeah, but I mean, how much access do they have to people who aren't them that are willing to try and murder the king of the place they live? I don't know. I mean, my point is that this has happened multiple times, and there can only be so many people that stupid. But I guess they've gotten away, so it could be the same person.
Come on now. There we go. All right. You know what? This is a dragon blood. Yeah, it's an ashen dragon blood. So Tlano from is the same type that Torch was from the jungles.
Oh, okay.
In the next to the fire people.
So that must be really uncommon.
Yeah, definitely. And the woman is red scaled, slim, but again, this is not D&D in the sense that all women in any race have breasts, even though they're reptiles.
Right.
Like this woman, you can't tell whether or not it's a woman or a male. But apparently Gwen has figured this out.
Consider Caspian disappointed. Anyways,
Wow.
just kidding. I mean, not really, but okay. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and so the dragon blood like hisses at you, right? And like goes against her chains. And she like she's like,
yeah.
If things have gone differently last night, you would be dead.
I would be dead if things had gone differently many nights. Fortunately for me, they haven't.
Gosh. Oh, that's such a good line.
It says, I don't know who managed to convince you otherwise, but I would like to know about them. As you might imagine.
Mm-hmm. And she just shakes her head. She says, I will give you nothing.
He just kind of sighs and shakes his head, and he says, I know very little about, well, what do they call them? They call them Dragonbloods, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. There's probably a name that you would, like, we're getting a translation of it in Garrick, you're speaking Kaza, but yeah.
Yeah. He says, I don't know very much about Dragonbloods. Subsequently, I'm not quite sure what pains you, other than, of course, being stabbed and things like. But I do know some people who might be a little bit more familiar with your anatomy. And of course, there's no need for this to be ugly. Whoever hired you did so to your detriment. They sent you on a fool's errand, and I knew it. So I'm not sure why you would have any loyalty towards them or why you would endure any pain for their sake, but it is what it is. If I have to get my men, I will.
He just stares you down with fiery eyes.
Do you want me to make an intimidation roll?
Yeah.
Or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. So extortion, that's basically like intimidation, but not with violence, right?
No, it's basically like pay me to protect you. Like extortion is like if you don't pay us, we're gonna like break your shop and like do this. Like you're offering us protection money, and we'll protect you, but otherwise we're gonna mess you up.
That's more specific than I thought it was.
Yeah.
All right. I spent a lot of points on that. I didn't need to then. Whatever. Okay.
Or like you're blackmailing someone, like that. That's also extortion.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You have information that you're holding over.
That's
your
more
head.
useful. All right. I will be using that. So. Okay. Wow. I only have 3 in intimidation. Man, I suck. Okay. I don't think I have anything else that's really useful for this. Okay. Am I getting any help from anybody? Did she roll steel for?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yes, you feel.
She got a 2. So then, can I use that to my advantage then?
Yeah. You can get 2 dice from from Gwen then instead of 1.
That's what I'm talking about. Also, wasn't there a rule for benefiting? Now, I know we've talked about this a million times. I can't remember because it's changed. But was there a rule for benefiting from reputations and the like when they're applicable to your situation?
Yeah, you can get an advantage dice. I don't think it would count in this case. This lady has no idea who you are.
Well, I mean, she knows that I'm important, wealthy, and the person living in the castle, and that somebody hired her to try and murder me.
And there's the thing. Like, I'm starting to get a idea of who this person is in my mind, and she wouldn't care about any of that. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was just because part of my argument was that they were basically being like, do this thing that's impossible, and I was trying to sort of say that, but I guess that's sort of irrelevant. So, okay, I think that's everything I've got. Then obstacle.
Obstacle 5.
Okay. I don't think it was possible for me to succeed that. Not that it matters, because I can't roll. Okay.
No, it was possible. You could have gotten all successes.
True. I did have 5 dice. Okay.
So make sure you mark that test.
All right. Jeez, why do I keep forgetting that? It's like I forgot how to play this game.
I have been playing a lot more than you have, though.
That's true. It's been more than a month, I think, since I played it.
I think it'd be more than that. When was the last time we played Burning
Okay,
Man?
it's been a while. I mean, we played Dylan's.
I think that's the last
like,
time, but that
flashback.
was like months ago. That was June.
Yeah. Jeez, what? Really?
Yeah.
Like how? All right. Anyways, yeah. So I fail. She's not intimidated.
Yeah. So she just like hisses at you again.
Yeah. So he sighs. He says, "I suppose it does always have to be this way." And then he nods to. I assume there's some Rossi in the room. The ones that.
Yeah.
Okay. He nods to one of them and says. Version name generator. Sorry. Okay. Get mail names. Yeah, so he says, go get Neve for me. He'll know what to do.
How do you spell that?
N-I-V. Anyways, yeah.
What are the most common translations in the English Bible?
Yep. He used to be a holy knight, but he is. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then the soldier nods and he's like, yes, of course. I'm assuming Neve is a torturer.
Yeah, he's probably also the only person in this place that has any familiarity with people beyond, standard humans. So, if anybody does, I mean, that's your call, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Man, I'm gonna have to burn up a whole bunch of people. We've made so many NPCs.
I mean, they don't ever have to come up again, really. Like,
I mean, okay, wait. So we're not playing by the rules of the game. Make a circles roll to get Neve.
I mean, I own him.
Well,
all right.
You don't have. I don't know. I guess.
I mean, he's in my gang. Like, I paid for him as a gang. So, like, it would be weird for you to roll circles.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Okay. Because the gang rules are so like it's literally just this is kind of how you get them, and that's it. So.
Yeah.
I really wish there was more to it than that. But.
Yeah. So Neve. I like. Are you just gonna let Neve do his thing then?
She has magical powers, really.
What?
She has magical powers.
Who?
This dragon lady.
No. I rolled the discipline to because
for the race.
Each discipline is tied to a race, so I just want to roll randomly.
Okay.
Race, yeah.
All right. I thought it was the other way around.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think as he's going to get him, he's Caspian's explained to her like he's doing the same thing, right? This is stupid. Doesn't have to be like this. But obviously he's not going to get through because he'll let it ride.
But okay, so you want Neve to torture her? Is that correct, or do you want him to interrogate her?
I mean, I want him to interrogate her via torture. If that's a thing.
He can interrogate and then torture as a fork. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Because torture it basically breaks down their will and gets them to do something that you want them to do.
Right.
And you can't ask a question when you torture someone. You just tell them they acquiesce to a demand.
Couldn't the demand be tell me the answer to this question?
Well, that's the thing. Like, no, and that because that's not how torture works in real life. You try to get them to say a thing that you want them to say. That's how torture works. Interrogation is a peculiar logic of trying to trick them into giving you information. Torture, if it's just straight torture, what you are saying is admit that you were in part of this plot, and then once you break down their will, they admit that they were part.
Well, I mean, I know that it doesn't do me any good.
Right.
I
Exactly.
mean, So okay,
Which is why you want interrogation
then
and not torture.
it should be interrogation with torture support. Yeah,
Yes,
that makes
exactly.
sense. Okay, fair enough. All right. Also, can I help him at all? Any of this?
What do you want to help with? Do you
I
have?
mean, I have persuasion. I can be telling her that it'll stop whenever she answers me, that kind of stuff.
Yep, that makes
or
sense.
whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh wow, we get a really dark scene here. Okay, so he's gonna have a base 4. He's gonna have intimidation and torture as forks, so 6. He's gonna get 1 from you for persuasion. I think he's gonna get 1 from Gwen because Gwen's gonna be there with intimidation.
Oh yeah. I like just getting bonoses from Gwen because everyone's so scared of her.
Yeah, I know.
Great.
Yeah. And so the guy I established that the Dragon Blood's will is 5. So
okay.
Let's see how this
can
goes.
be done. It's gonna be hard, but it can. Nope. Wow. Really? Oh. Wait,
Oof,
what?
Dang.
Wait, what happened?
Wow, that was bad. 3 successes.
Oh, that was my roll. I don't know why it came up. That was weird. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't good. 3 1s. Oh my gosh. And a 2.
Yeah, so she doesn't give information. Like she is like super hardcore, like just not giving up anything.
Right.
And I think
Okay.
I think once you, because you're like in on this like half torture, half interrogation session, and
Right.
like you can tell that she has like a bunch of scars on her. She must be used to this sort of stuff.
Okay.
So
Right. Yeah, so he sighs and looks away and probably like Neva's probably still doing his thing, but he's like realizes it's not gonna work.
Mhm.
And so he turns to Gwen and he says, "Did she have anything on her when you captured her?"
A weapon, of course. She kind of smirks.
How about coin?
No coin. She had a sun medallion, small token, nothing valuable around her neck. Must be a religious icon of some sort.
I doubt we're lucky enough that that's the same icon as belongs to the Draconian religion.
No, absolutely not. It looks too primitive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He just shakes his head.
And so one thing that you like remember through all of this, like whoever sent this person, it's just kind of dumb. Like because Dragon Blood are so not conspicuous, right? Like especially in this region, like there's not a whole lot of them. They're from far away, and so like if obviously she got in through stealth, but like at some point she had to just try to go unnoticed, and that was it was incredible she even got that far.
Right.
But like yeah, you're just looking at the situation, it's just like this is not like a smart move. Like why did this person do this?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So he goes back when she says that she didn't have anything or whatever. He goes back to Neve and, while he's doing his thing, and he holds up his hand. He says, "That's enough." Says, "I don't think we're going to get anything out of her, and frankly, I don't think that she's going to get us any closer than what we want. So we'll just have to settle for making an example of her. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll drag out the people that hired her, but somehow I doubt it. So, anyways, schedule up with my cousin Ravi." For a public execution. He'll write up a speech about some nonsense about how this is what happens when you try and murder me or whatever. He'll think of something. And make it pretty quick. I don't appreciate it when I wake up and my wife isn't in bed. And then he kind of like goes to walk out, I guess. I was gonna say he does the Garen wave, but all of my characters do the Garen wave, so he's not gonna do it. Also, his hand is crippled,
I feel like
so.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this character would be one who might do a Garmin wave.
The Garmin wave is just the Hoid of my existence. It's in all of the things. Yeah.
All of your characters do the Garmin wave.
Yeah.
I love that that's part of the mythos of this now.
Mm-hmm.
The Garmin wave.
It's something I would do if I was mean enough to be so dismissive of people. And I just never am, so I never do that kind of thing. But
yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Man, that's too bad because I liked this character. I
mean, yeah. She could have talked. She could still talk.
I mean, so that's the thing. You want her to tell you who hired her or whatever. So, I mean, you could try a different tactic. You could try a different skill. Like, there are other skills to try here.
Yeah, I mean...
And other things to, like, avenues to go down.
Right. I mean, the problem is that at this point I've gone so down intimidation and torture that persuasion seems unlikely to work. Like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't really seem like it's going to work. Extortion... Like, I mean, it would only work if I got the impression that she cared about the people who hired her, and she doesn't appear to be of the same religion. And given that she's so messed up, like you said, she's really beat up, I assume she's probably just doing this kind of thing for money. That she didn't have money, but, you know, she probably just wasn't stupid enough to bring jingly coins to an assassination.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to bribe her.
So... Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is that just after I torture her, like,
right.
I feel like I've already kind of played my hand. So, you know, and I mean, I guess narratively, like,
I don't care if she dies. Like, I'm just kidding.
Right? Yeah. If this situation changes enough where she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be murdered for this now," maybe I'll say something.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like I feel like she's gotten used to like torture and interrogation and stuff before. But yeah, it's possible the situation might change a little bit when she actually realizes she's like gonna be killed here.
Yeah, and like, I mean, the thing is, like, he's not even trying to get information out of this point, so. Yeah. I don't know if there's a role, but if she wants to change her mind willingly, then she could do that. But otherwise, she's just like, yeah, we're not going to get anything. Just kill her. So.
Would you attend that execution?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think I attend public things because the thing is that because Ravi does all the talking, if I was just standing there, it would look really weird.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I come out and talk to people. Like, the whole thing,
is that you're dark and mysterious and whatnot.
Right. Well, and that he connects with people on a personal, like, that's his thing. Is like, I don't talk to crowds because I connect with them on a personal level, and I can't deal with people when there's multiples of them because I can't connect to them. And that's what, like, that's how he's gotten it to be conveyed, right? Where it's not like, oh, he doesn't care about us, he just stays in his castle. It's like, oh, he doesn't like to talk to crowds because he'd rather be able to communicate on a personal level, face to face, like, you know, spin it as like a positive kind of thing. So yeah, that's whether or not that's true, I don't remember. Yeah, so he probably wouldn't go, but he'd at least have Casim there to ensure that it went smoothly and stuff like that.
Okay. But, yeah, I mean, I think it just happens then. Yeah, we just get a somber scene of this dragon blood lady, like, you know, being drawn up and I think she has these desperate look on her face, like, oh wow, okay, wow, this is going. I did not think this is gonna end this way, but I think like right before, like, it gets to the point where another person might, like, pee their pants or flee or whatever, like, just panic. She steals herself and then just faces her execution, like, with a fiery look.
I think you need to roll for that. Just kidding.
I mean, like, you're not even here, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I have characters who might be like, oh, hey, she's gonna say something or something like that, you know. But it's fine. It doesn't matter. Like I said, my character gave up on it, so.
Yeah. And the last thing we get from that scene is just her neck snapping back and her dying.
Yeah, and I think in the background, we have Robbie being like, you know, for crimes of attempted assassination, and, you know, with the understanding that any of and all who are responsible for the compensation and employment of this assassin will be share the similar fate, and that any that come forward with information regarding it, you know, will be granted a lesser sentence, that kind of thing. Very formal and lawyery and all that.
Yeah, so I think the last shot we get from that scene, actually after the snapping of the neck and all that, is Ravi. He kind of goes over as like the soldiers are taking away the body, and he notices, like, something that the dragon blood, like, has clasped over her neck, like that medallion. He kind of, like, looks at it and he's like, wait, and he just, like, takes it off of her and just kind of, like, looks at it, just kind of, like, tucks it in his pocket. And then cool. We cut.
All right.
Do you have anything else that you're interested in doing, or?
I mean, other than my previous plan, which someone else was enacting,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, like right now, it's kind of the ball is in everyone else's court
Mm-hmm.
as far as those things go.
Mm-hmm.
I think, um, maybe to kind of set the scene for the whole arrival of the
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Crow
Yeah.
Inquisitors stuff. I think he leaves the castle with Gwyn, and like we get like a faraway shot of him or whatever, and he's walking down the trail and or his path down sort of into the city, and then he walks up to a camp that's covered in like it's a bunch of stone buildings, but hung everywhere on each wall and like above the entrances and in the doors stuff are mirrors. Just like everything's covered in mirrors. And so it's kind of bright because there's sunlight bouncing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he walks up and there's Marasi walking around everywhere. It's their barracks and it's pretty obvious based on the military feel. And they're all walking around. Some of them have armor on if they're on patrol. And he goes into one building and walks in and we see that guy that we kill in the thing. I don't remember his name. I got to find that document again because I exited out of it. Anyway, well, okay, we see we'll do it while I find it. So we see a gruff guy that got like he's kind of unkept and he's got like a rough leather gambeson on and that kind of stuff, and it's probably it's unlaced and open because he's not like doing anything official or anything, and he's probably just looking at a map of the area when I walk in, and then let's see if I can find it. I just looked at this. Where is it? There we go. Where are you? Hassan? That's his name. Yep, Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan.
So yeah, he walks in and he says,
Starts talking about the tower and tragedy.
Yep. He walks in and he says, Hassan, may I have a moment?
Of course, Sahib.
Says,
You can have as many moments as you would like.
he just smiles and he says, the last oasis over on the west, what's the status on that? Has it been filled yet?
Nearly, sir. We've been having a little bit of trouble with a local tribe who was migrating into the area, but we seem to have run them off without any bloodshed. We're just picking off some stragglers now, making sure that they aren't trying to cause any trouble. Should have it filled up in a couple days.
Says, and we've ensured, of course, that they believe Ito is responsible, correct?
Of course, yes. We've all been wearing his colors, so it does look like, and in the sun with all the with the loose clothing that he usually wear, it's easy to hide faces.
Wonderful.
We killed a couple who managed to get too close, but buried their bodies in the sand just like the water.
Naturally. Says, well, I appreciate the speed you've done this with. Now that we've had them filled in, hopefully this will bring everybody through our town instead of these silly oases.
Well, that is the plan now, isn't it?
He nods and he says,
and a good plan it is.
Says, is there any word from the Outriders? Anything I should know of?
He gives you a look, and the audience notices it, but you don't, because
right.
You've already established that you wouldn't. So we're not even gonna roll here. But then he nods and he says, or he shakes his head and he says, nothing, Sahib, just the normal, the usual, that a few raptors, maybe a couple camels coming and going, but nothing sentient anyway.
He nods. He says, good. And I've been told there's some Taconi. Do I know the name of their religion?
Nope.
Okay, it's just some Taconi zealots or something like that have come in posing as merchants, or maybe they are merchants. I don't care, but make sure the guard keeps an eye on them. I don't want them to be causing any trouble.
Of course.
And, it says, how has the Rossi camp been treating you? I know we had the fire in the barracks a while ago. I hope they're. I'm told they're nearly finished rebuilding it. Sorry, I can't talk today. I don't know what's going on.
Yes. No, it's all right. There's always sorts of tension with these sorts of power shifts, but I do believe that you've been handling it okay, or handling it well, and you pay us all, so there's not much to complain about on that end. There has been someone I've noticed that I think I might want to bring to your attention. One of the mercenaries that came on before you arrived. His name is Idrikson. He's a Yurgard from the north. Store, first name. His given name. He seems pretty promising. He doesn't ask for much. He doesn't. He takes what's given to him and doesn't complain. And I was asking. I wanted to ask you if I might be able to give him a bit of a promotion.
Yeah, he says, I'll have Kasim look into it. What did you say his name was again?
Store?
Store. Yes, I'll have him look into him. If he finds him promising, then I'll have Kasim pass on the appropriate permissions.
Of course. Well, that's all I had for you. If
he just nods. He says, I appreciate your hard work.
I appreciate yours.
I'll likely check again when the barracks is then rebuilt. And again, I'll have Kasim report to you on his decision.
All right.
And he just kind of gives him a nod.
Ready for you then.
Have a pleasant evening. And then he goes to...
You as well.
Stroll out. And he probably goes and flags down Kasim, since this is his camp, technically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, so we stay. The camera stays with the guy for a second, Hassan. And he kind of like takes like a chart that he had like laid over something, and he kind of like lifts it up, and there's like a little pouch of gold underneath it, and he like grabs it and like looks back at where you had left and looks down at the bag again.
Nice. What a jerk!
But he was nice. He wanted to give Josh a promotion.
Oh yeah, that's Josh.
That's
okay.
Josh's character.
Yeah. I should have assumed. That's funny. Nice. Well, he'll get it.
I'd imagine in my head canon, Hassan is actually a really nice guy who just made a mistake and is living under
a really bad mistake. Yep. Yeah, when I wrote it, he wasn't even supposed to be like trying to kill him or whatever. He was just being rough, and then he just got murdered. But yep. All right, good stuff. I didn't have anything else in mind for setting it up, unless we want to play that little like montage of the scene where they actually spot them, or we can just save that for next time.
I think we'll save it. Yeah, I think we'll save it for the beginning of. Because that will immediately follow you meeting with Cantarius. So yeah, I think we'll save that for the actual session.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's do Artha stuff then.
Oh yeah. All right. Unfortunately, I won't get anything for beliefs because I didn't have any goals. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably skip beliefs. Instincts. I don't think I really used those too much. No,
I mean, if you want to just assume that your beliefs for this session were like find out who's killing me or find out who's trying to kill me.
That's true, yeah.
And
Deal
you
with
know,
Eero.
deal with Eero. Yeah, like you can just get 2 fate for, you know,
Yeah.
a fate for each of those.
Cool. All right, thanks. I will do that. And then instincts. I don't think easy.
I don't
Always
think-
have at least 2 people around. Yeah, I really do that. Actually, I probably changed that to have Gwen around because I don't usually have 2 people.
Mhm.
But, never set up for less when you can have more. I didn't really do that. Well, I did kind of, but it didn't get me in trouble. Well, not that I know. Because I, instead of just letting Turin leave, I tried to get him on my side. But again, that didn't get me in trouble. Always be the one in control. That didn't get me in trouble. Unless being a total idiot in the sacrifice thing counts. But that was kind of him just being like, you know what? I don't care what you think. So.
Yeah, I think self-satisfied definitely gives you a point
okay,
because that was what that whole scene was about. Just smugness.
Yeah, and affinity for business, noble Sacrilege, crippled, palsy. Those didn't really give me issues, I don't think. Charismatic, Pennywise, they didn't do anything. So yeah, I think that's it. Cool.
Well, cool. I have a bunch of new NPCs to work with.
Yeah, a lot.
So that'll be good.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, thanks for playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
All right, Crow Inquisitors, Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be a cluster. All right.
It's gonna be great.
Sweet. Yep. Alrighty.
All right, adios.
Ciao. Have a good one.